Oh, that graphic looks bad. Oh, Jurassic World Dominion devours Lightyear at the box office this weekend, guys. Ezra Miller, that debacle continues. Heat 2 is in the works. But we have some new Thor 4 images to look at today. But we start off the day by looking at Jurassic World Dominion and the T-Rex defense. What's this all about? Let's take a look. Jurassic World Dominion. Director Colin Trevorrow has perfect response for T-Rex criticism, and indeed, Jurassic World Dominion devoured Lightyear at the box office. We'll talk about that in a few moments, but people have been complaining that the dinos have had not that much screen time in Jurassic World Dominion, and they've been giving some flack to the director on social media. Let's just take a look at this quote and it'll kind of spell it out for us. Angel Rosario, or maybe Angel. I think that's the way the Spanish people pronounce it, but let's get on to the quote. You made the Rex look weak again. Come on now. It's the face of the franchise. Terrible. The Giga might have been strong, but science proves the Rex was a better predator and stronger. Very disappointed in your utilization of Rexy. So, of course, Colin Trevorrow responded by saying, I understand the feeling. Worth noting, the T-Rex had an average lifespan of 28 years, so our Rexy would be near the end of her life in Dominion. Even at that age, she found the strength to rise up and avenge her own death 65 million years later. Sometimes revenge takes time. So that's his retort to people calling him out, saying that, the dinos took the back seat, the T-Rex looked weak, and his defense was, well, that she's older now, she's probably near her deathbed, and that's why... Come on, guys. It's just a little bit of a fun story to start off the movie news week. And what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below. As you know, you're watching Mirror Domain's Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, where we do talk about the movie news headlines. 12 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday on this channel. And hey, if you join us in the live chat, I'll talk with you guys in between the stories. And let's just continue on. It's Monday, guys, so it's time for the weekend box office report. Okay, let's we'll pull that up. Domestic box office for June 17th to the 19th, 2022. Number 1 was Jurassic World Dominion. Number 2 was Lightyear. Number 3 was Top Gun Maverick. Number 4 was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And number 5 was the Bob's Burgers movie. So, Lightyear was projected to make around $60 to $70 million. So it did underperform a little bit, with $51 million coming in at the number 2 spot. Jurassic World Dominion in the second week fell down to 58.6. So that is a drop. It did drop 59%. Okay. And Top Gun Maverick held in there for $44 million in the third spot, and that's significant. We'll talk about that in a few moments. Doctor Strange down to the number 4, and Bob's Burgers held in there at the 5th spot. And we'll take a look perhaps as to what's going to happen next week here. But let's take a look at Jurassic World Dominion's box office numbers. Domestically, 249.7 overall for the first 2 weeks. Internationally, 372.3 for a worldwide total of 622.1, and that's definitely going to cross the $1 billion mark. That's putting it on pace, unless it completely crashes and burns here. I don't think it will, but and what I mean is, by crashing and burning, it would have to drop all the way down to perhaps the 5th spot next week, and then tail off more. But looking at the numbers now, 58.6, it's probably going to drop another 15%, maybe 30. It'll be down to about 35 million next week. 30 million maybe at the worst. Our Glass Vikings in the live chat says T-Rex is almost JW's Jurassic World's version of Stan Lee in cameo terms. Yeah, they use it kind of like that. They definitely do. Good call. But everything will get shoved down a little bit, because next week we have Elvis coming out this Friday, guys. That'll be the number 1 spot for sure. That'll definitely make more than 58.6. Which will be down, like, these numbers will go down to about the 30s to 40s. So, yeah, Elvis will make more than that. Should make more than that. And if it doesn't, well, then it'll underperform. But I think Elvis will have a wide enough appeal that people will go and see it. And then Black Phone also comes out, but Black Phone, I don't think will make 20 million. It'll be like 15 to 20 million Black Phone. So it'll be the fifth spot. Number one will be Elvis. Number two will be Jurassic World Dominion. 3 will be Lightyear. 4 will be Top Gun Maverick, and then 5 will be Black Phone, the Black Phone. I think that'll be next year's numbers, or next week's numbers. That's my projections. But talking about Lightyear, guys, it did a little bit. Well, I thought it would be number one actually, because a lot of people were talking about it. Let's pull up those Lightyear numbers. 51 domestically, 34.6 internationally. So it's got a little bit more leeway in the international numbers once everything gets rolled out. So for a worldwide total of 85.6 for Lightyear. And I haven't seen it yet. But the response has been mixed by the critics. By the audience, 86% by the audience, 76% by the critics. And I've been looking at some of the Reddit boards talking about this, saying that, oh, it underperformed it bombed for a Pixar movie. What's wrong with Pixar? Lightyear isn't as good. Well, guys, they think every Pixar movie should be stellar, like a home run. From these numbers, and from what I'm looking at, it looks like it's just a quality movie. And in quality, the fans expect top-notch, top-tier entertainment. And I'll see Lightyear like in a week or so when school gets out here, and I'll take some of my niece to it. But, that's something that Lightyear will have in its box office returns, is that it'll have that little longevity, because it's a kid's movie, and it'll have like the summer now. Kids are getting out of school, so it'll have some staying power for the next little while to be in the top 10. Because I mean, look how long movies like The Bad Guys hung in there. That grossed a lot longer than I thought it would. So yeah, kids movies they'll be in the top 5 for a while. Speaking about hanging in there is Top Gun Maverick with 44 million. And let's pull up Top Gun Maverick's numbers here, guys, because I'm really shocked on how well this movie's doing. So 466.1 domestically, 419 internationally. So worldwide, 885.1. And that's where I thought it was going to tap out. Like, I thought maybe it would tap out around 850. But, guys, it's still going strong. And I'm thinking now 950 worldwide is maybe where it's going to tap out, maybe inching to that $1 billion mark, and that'll be Tom Cruise's biggest movie of all time by then. It's already his biggest opening, but it's made another achievement, Top Gun Maverick, that we'll just quickly address here. That Top Gun Maverick in its 4th week as outperforms all but Avatar in the 4th week's numbers. So this is just for the 4th week in the box office, guys. Top Gun Maverick. Let's go on and see this quote here from MovieWeb. So Top Gun Maverick is one of only 4 movies to ever break 40 million mark after 4 weeks on release. Currently, Avatar sits at number 1 with 50.3. Number 2 is Top Gun Maverick with 44 million, and we saw that in this week's numbers. And then it was Force Awakens 42.4 and Black Panther at 40. So yeah, so it's in the top 4. Hanging in there, 40 million in the 4th week. Top Gun Maverick, and that's fantastic numbers, guys. Rolling that back to the main sheet here. Top Gun. Just thinking about all the movies that are on this current slate. I haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once yet, which has got lots of notoriety, I know that. But out of all the movies here on this box office sheet, the one that, if you asked me, I had to go and watch it again for sure in the theater right now on IMAX, would be Top Gun Maverick. That's the one that I would pick to go see for sure again. So, and that's what I mean. It's got some staying power. You want to go see it again. It's just a fun ride, guys, in the theater. Seeing those flight sequences, the sound design, ooh. And the story. It's a story. So it's got that word of mouth, and I still think that's going to hang in there for the next couple of weeks. Probably once we get around to Thor on July 8th. Top Gun Maverick will maybe fall out of the top 5. Doctor Strange has been hanging in there too. So, but that's near the end of its run. And the next one on Wednesday, I think that comes out on streaming and hard copy, right, on Blu-ray. So we'll have to see how that is. But I'm so happy for Top Gun Maverick. And the Jurassic World Dominion, it devoured Lightyear at the box office. So what do you guys think about those numbers? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. We'll continue on looking at some Thor images now. Arglass says in the live chat, if they re-release Top Gun and Maverick together as a double feature, it would really soar. You know what? They should do that. In fact, they should do that like at the drive-ins. Remember we were talking about Firestarter on the weekend. Firestarter was paired with Jurassic World Dominion, and that bumped up its box office numbers. That would be a cool double feature. Even if they did that in the normal theaters, I think people would go and see that. Yeah, because people have gone back and seen the first Top Gun because they really like Top Gun Maverick. But let's continue on, looking at some Thor 4 images. Thor, Love and Thunder, as we were talking about, is due out July 8th. So that's just around the corner, and we have some images that show us the best look at Natalie Portman's mighty Thor armor. And we got one of Thor here with Chris Hemsworth. This comes to us from Total Film. Well, it's an article up on Screen Rant. Let me see if I can blow this image up a little bit. And that looks great. She's going to be definitely the highlight of the film for me, Thor, Love and Thunder. Natalie Portman, fantastic actress. I loved her in the prequels and Black Swan. Probably you just can't. Whew, she was on like another level in that film. But she was great ever since she was like in the professional heat, that kind of stuff. So that armor looks great. And you know that she worked out for this, guys. You know that her shoulders, her pipes, whew, impressive. So we got another image of, so we got her, and then we got Chris Hemsworth there. And I think this must be when he's in the Guardian ship. Or he's lost his weight by now. So who knows when that is, but it looks like he's relaxing with a little bit of a libation there, perhaps. But yeah, Thor, Love and Thunder, July 8th, guys. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm sure that there are going to be more images of Total Films exclusive here that'll come out. But for today, on this article, that's all we have. And I think that looks awesome. I can't wait to see more. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And, well, yeah. Hey, you know how this show works. Hey, guys. Guy Ritchie is going to be directing a Hercules movie. A live action. Guy Ritchie to direct Hercules live action remake. Guy Ritchie to direct Hercules live action remake, and it will be based on the 1997 film. So this will fall in the pantheon of the live action reboots, just like Snow White with Rachel Zegler that's coming out, and that Little Mermaid live action movie that has come out, that's going to come out with Halle Bailey. So Guy Ritchie wants to throw his hat into the ring too to make another one. Well, he made that Aladdin live action remake. So well, this continues on with that, and let's see what's all going into this. Dave Callahan, who wrote Shang-Chi, wrote the first draft of the script, and they're looking for more writers on the project right now. Joe and Anthony Russo are going to be producing this via their AGBO banner. So the Russo brothers, the guys who did Endgame, Infinity War, and did The Gray Man that we're going to watch next month, coming out on Netflix on the channel for sure. So yeah. No, well, if they're in the pre-production stage now, guys. If they're got the first draft, they've got to rewrite it a little bit. We haven't obviously had any casting announcement. I guess if they're going to do a live-action Hercules, maybe ballpark end of 2024, 2025 is most likely when we'll see it. Guy Ritchie had this other movie that was supposed to be out this year, Operation Fortune. What happened to that? Let's take a look at his IMDb. Operation Fortune, and I like the trailers for that, but it got pulled off the schedule for some reason. So looking at his directing credits, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. So he'll have that. He has the Gentleman TV show. Okay, I didn't know they were making a TV show of that. Or did I? Aladdin 2 pre-production. They're going to do an Aladdin 2? And that's slated for 2025. So this Hercules would have to be in between that, or it would be like 2026 when Hercules would come out. I don't know. What. And The Interpreter is another movie that's coming out with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's in post-production. So that's like a war movie. But this Operation Fortune, it was like Jason Statham it was supposed to come out this year, guys. And I really like the trailers for it. It has Aubrey Plaza, Cary Elwes, Josh Hartnett, Hugh Grant. It was kind of like in the same vein of what The Gentleman was. That same kind of cheekiness to it. And Guy Ritchie is good at action. And I was looking forward to this one again because he always works well with Jason Statham. I mean, those two are a really good pairing. I'd like to see that. Arglass says, I'd be quirky if Guy Ritchie cast Arnold's son as the role of Hercules. Arnold's son. That would be interesting. But Guy Ritchie still, it looks like he's got a lot on his plate, so I'm not sure exactly where or when this Guy Ritchie Hercules would be able to fit into the slate. What's his son's name? I'm just pulling this up here. Patrick. Is that who you think is Hercules? He doesn't work out like his father, obviously. Is that an ascot? Well, maybe. Maybe he does look like he... well, he's not fat or anything, so yeah, maybe I could see him as a young Hercules. That's an interesting call there, Artglass Vikings. Yeah. Live action Hercules, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2 comes out in just a week and a half, guys. July 1st. That's just next Friday. And we got a big article up on Variety talking about Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2 by this interview with Millie Bobby Brown, talking about her experiences making Volume 1. And she goes in to talk about some of the challenges of doing the de-aging stuff like that. I totally recommend that you go check this out and read this article. She goes into talking about how the visual effects work and the face replacement and stuff. But one thing that really stood out with this article, for me at least, was when I was reading it, she's very acute at studying this process, learning this process, learning the techniques of what it takes to work with the behind the scenes stuff. And I'm thinking, we know that she already likes to produce some of her own stuff. Like she's produced the Enola Holmes on Netflix. She's going to be turned into a director, I think. I think Millie Bobby Brown's going to be a director or a producer at some point, probably both. Well, she's already a producer, but like a producer of her own stuff, like her own material, because she's smart. She's smart. And yeah, I think I can see her becoming a very talented director. And this article is worth the read. It goes in to talk about how she's working with that young stand-in actress, coaching her and stuff like that. So we know that she can act, and she knows the process of acting, and now she's learning about the process of working with the visual effects, working with the different creative teams, the writing teams, the challenges of setting up and blocking scenes. So she's smart, and that's really cool. And I really enjoyed Volume 1, guys. Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1 is a different level of storytelling. It's just so masterfully put together by the Duffer Brothers. My full live watch-alongs are up on the channel right now, guys. I totally recommend that you go check them out because they're full live watch-alongs. You know those reactors that say, go watch my full reaction on Patreon? That's what I do, but I put it on YouTube. And I give it to you guys for free. So there, it's up there. And hopefully you guys go check that out because next Friday, we are going to be watching Stranger Things Volume 2, July 1st. And basically episode 8 and 9, according to this article, are going to be like feature film length. So from my understanding, I think episode 8 is going to be an hour and a half, and then episode 9 is going to be like 2 to 2.5 hours long. So July 1st, next Friday, we'll be doing full live watch-alongs. On that day, there will be no movie news, and we'll be focusing in all on Stranger Things Volume 2 for Season 4. We might do episode 8 in the morning, and then in the afternoon we'll have some lunch, and then we'll go and finish off the series in the afternoon, and I'll be promoting it all next week, guys. I'll have all the title cards up and stuff like that for Friday, so I can try to build up a bit more of an audience to come join us July 1st, next Friday, for Stranger Things Volume 2 full watch-alongs. And I'm looking forward to that because those were a lot of fun to do. It was a tough couple of days to get both of those, to get all 7 episodes out, but it was worth it. It was totally worth it. And this article and this interview up on Variety ends out with the Duffers have already started working on season 5 soon. What would you like to see most happen? They asked her, Millie Bobby Brown, this, and she just goes on to say that she's going to leave it up to them. I know it's a really boring answer, but I don't think about it. As soon as I get on set, they tell me what I'm doing, and that's it. Let the geniuses be geniuses and let the actors act. Quote by Millie Bobby Brown. So she trusts what they do with the characters, and it's a good read over on Variety. Go read this article about Stranger Things and the challenges Millie Bobby Brown had going into making and crafting that series, because that just, the further you get away from it, you're like, that was so well done. It was such a well done series, and I can't wait to follow up with Volume 2 next Friday, guys, here on the channel. Talking about Obi-Wan Season 2, talking about, well, I don't know if it's well-crafted series, but I've kind of enjoyed Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2 possibility addressed by the Star Wars show writer. So Joby Harold responds to circulating rumors about the Star Wars series receiving a Season 2. Now, I think a lot of us would like to see a Season 2, even though that some of the fans haven't really gelled with the show. Like, it's not as powerful as Stranger Things, for sure, and it should be. It should be. Sometimes it takes a little while for the creators to find their way, but I think with episode 5, they found what they need to do with this series by showing us flashbacks, by showing us a little bit more of that trauma that he has about his responsibilities and his failures with Anakin. If they do that instead of giving us Reva and like the side story, because she is a side story. I understand that. It should have been more about him and his struggles dealing with, trying to be that watchful eye over Luke and him being told to go away constantly by Owen. But anyway, the writer here, let's take a look at his quote. And it says, I can't speak to any of these questions, but I love Star Wars, and the experience of working on Star Wars hasn't changed that in any way. It's only made it a bigger part of my life, and I feel lucky to be part of it. So that's cool. Well, of course, what else are you going to say? That it was a terrible experience? I liked the inclusion of the young Leia, but as I said, I think it would detracted too much from the story that people wanted to see. And if we don't get a Liam Neeson, at least voice cameo in part 6 of this series that comes out this Wednesday, guys. We'll be finishing off the series this Wednesday. If they don't give us that, I think that opens the door for a Season 2. And hopefully they'll go into a point where perhaps he goes on a mission to try to turn Anakin back to the light side. So it'll finally close off those lingering issues with Return of the Jedi. I think that'll happen. That should happen. And hopefully that's not all crammed into the part 6 of this season on this Wednesday. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Obi-Wan so far. And I'll recognize for sure that it's not as well crafted as Stranger Things. But hey, Stranger Things is on season 4, and this is the only first season for Obi-Wan. And I hope that does open the door for the possibility of an Obi-Wan Season 2. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Heat 2. They're making a Heat 2? Really? Huh. Well, let's take a look at this. Heat 2. And apparently Al Pacino has weighed in. Al Pacino wants to see Timothée Chalamet take over his role in a Heat sequel. Well, we know that Michael Mann has written the story, at least, for Heat 2, which would follow up the story of Vincent Hanna there, played by Al Pacino. And from my understanding of the excerpt, the excerpt of the story for Heat 2 was the novel that's due out August 2022. It's kind of like a prequel and then a sequel to Heat. So the prequel is going to take place in 1989. It's about Macaulay, played by Robert De Niro, and Vincent Hanna, Al Pacino, before they got to Heat. So I think Macaulay was in jail for the bulk of it, right? So it'll be about them and how they came to be before Heat. And then it was going to take place in the fallout after Heat as a sequel. But Timothée Chalamet, Al Pacino wants him to play like him in the prequel part. But if those are the years separating it, that's not enough time. That's not enough time, because Heat was 1995. So 6 years. So in 6 years, he goes from looking like this to looking like that? No. They would have to expand that. And if they expand that, the time frame, fine. Have him like being just coming out of the academy or something, and working as a beat cop, becoming an investigator. That would be cool to see. I would want to see that story. And then pick it up much later on when perhaps Pacino could still play the role as a retired person, still wanting to be part of the game but can't do it anymore. Maybe he mentors a younger up-and-coming investigator to take on a crew. They use him sort of like a kind of like a Hannibal Lecter advisor to take down a new crew. That would be cool. You could maybe even bring back Natalie Portman for a Heat 2. But guys, right now it's only the novel. It's only a story written by Michael Mann and Meg Gardiner. The Heat story continues. They could option that into a movie script for sure, and there's always a possibility. Michael Mann has a good eye for filming these kinds of things, and by far, Heat is his best work, for me at least. And then it's a tough call between Collateral and I liked Miami Vice. I'm sorry. I thought Miami Vice, and Miami Vice is probably my second favorite Michael Mann movie. And then Collateral. Tom Cruise. It was just so cool. And a cameo with Jason Statham in it too. I totally forgot about that one. But what do you guys think about a Heat 2? Do you think it's possible? We talked about that before. But Al Pacino weighed in, so I thought we'd talk about it again. And now we got to get into the Ezra Miller debacle as it continues on. Yes. Now, later on today, David Zaslav over there, the CEO of Warner Bros., has a decision to make. A big decision. And this came out over the weekend, and I thought about making a short for it, but we'll talk about it now. Now, this article over on Deadline goes in to talk about some of the legal troubles that Miller is in right now with the grooming, the absconding with this person, taking off. The studio can't find him. Whatever's going on, the court wants to give him papers to appear in court and stuff like that. So it's a messy situation. And the decision said was going to be made later today, if not by now. I should check. That Zaslav was going to make a decision what to do with this movie. And it's pretty clear that whatever happens, the sources say, even if no more allegations surface, the studio won't likely keep Miller in the Flash role in the future DC films. And that's pretty much a given, guys. For a $200 million Flash franchise launch. Now, everybody's talking about the price tag. Everybody's talking about that price tag of $200 million. And that's the thing that weighs in on everybody. For sure, it's a factor. But I think the bigger factor is that they wanted to use this as a franchise launch. Because Zaslav has made it clear that his desire to grow the DC universe to the MCU scale has all the ingredients to move forward as a franchise starter. But because of all these allegations, It definitely weighs in on things. He's axed certain things, like a lot of TV shows, things that were greenlit, like the Wonder Twins. He's axed. So he wants to focus in on rebooting this universe into something as powerful as the MCU. And obviously, he can't do that with Ezra Miller as the Flash, because if he can't find him, he can't promote the movie. And what are some of the options? Well, we've talked about some of the options before as to what they could possibly do with this movie. And, well, I guess we can go over some of these options right now. Well, yeah, this article goes on to talk about some of the allegations and why he was arrested and stuff like that. But, what do? You can either put it on streaming service. Among them, some of the decisions. So it'll either come out today or tomorrow, his decision as to what will happen with this film. You can either pull back heavily on promoting the film, confining it to some PA and no public publicity tour, which I think they should do. Because even if they release it with no marketing or anything limited marketing, film like a scene, like a post-credit scene of the new Flash coming in, taking over the mantle. Get Michael Keaton there to have him recognize him as the new Flash. That'll carry on. And just Poochie the dog him. Like, in The Simpsons, when Poochie died going back to his own planet, he was supposed to make this big speech, and then that weird cell came up and the producer says, Poochie died on the way to his planet, or something like that. Do that with Ezra Miller. People will accept it. Hey, people may even find that funny. He died traveling in between the multiverses or whatever. And now we're left with this new Flash that came in to pick up the pieces, and we'll continue on with him. Because Ezra Miller needs to leave the public stage. They can relegate it to the streaming services and take a write-down. You're going to take a write-down no matter what happens. It's not going to be a huge success. It won't be. It has the chance to make its money back, but it'll have people who hate the film going to see the film anyway. So it'll make some money back, but for the most part, it's going to be one of those movies where you'll be looking at it, and say he does get charged, say he does end up in jail. It's a mess. Or you just put it out on HBO right now. I'd put it out on HBO. Stop doing post-production work on it. Slap something together and do that. I don't think they'll do that. As I said, there's still the possibility with whatever ever happens. And I still think that there's a chance that he will get charged with something even more serious, because he doesn't seem to be wanting to get better. The debacle continues, and once that big news drops, we'll probably talk about it again tomorrow, once that big news drops as to what they're going to do with the film. Maybe it won't even drop. But we know that something's got to happen with it. And hopefully some kind of an announcement comes out soon, because, yeah, Ezra Miller needs to leave the big stage. Okay, somebody who's not ready to leave the big stage is Vincent D'Onofrio, perhaps as Kingpin. Vincent D'Onofrio sparks Kingpin Daredevil role speculation in new photo. Well, we know that Daredevil is going to get rebooted there on Disney Plus, a sequel series. And everybody likes D'Onofrio as Kingpin, and I wanted to see him as a movie. I want to see him face off against Spider-Man. That's what I want to see. But, this is a fun, small little story here, guys. He was on his social media. I guess it was maybe his birthday or something. He posted this image of him working out, and he transforms his body all the time. 63, but who's counting? No fear, no greed, no envy. So people have speculated that perhaps he's working out for coming back as Kingpin. He's somebody who transforms his body quite a bit. He's fought the battle of the bulge like some of us do. I can relate to that. Just stay off the carbs, man. No pasta, no rice, no bread, no cereal, nothing like that, and you'll be fine. It'll start to come off. But it looks like that's what has happened. As I said, he transforms his body quite a lot. So him coming back as Kingpin, that would be something that I would want to see, guys. What do you guys think? Just a fun little story there to throw out on the side. Let me know in the comments below, and we'll talk about it. Let's talk about Picard Season 3. as soon as we address some live chat comments here, by Our Glass Viking says, Al Pacino has a Peter Pan complex. Timothée Chalamet is a stretch to make the age range of Pacino. Well, yeah, that's what I said. Because the range of the story is only like 6 or 7 years. I know he was young in 95 still, but he was still old enough. Yeah, they would have to stretch that out a little bit. But, you know, if they adapt that book, they can address that. They can change that. Our Glass also says, yeah, kill the Miller Flash off with a time remnant. Yeah, something like that. Have something like that happen. And people might find that funny, oddly enough. They might, and they would roll with it if they found that funny. If they just quietly put that iteration of Ezra Miller aside. You know, somebody put up an image of the Justice League. I wish I could find that. Maybe they put up an image of the Justice League. From Zack Snyder's universe, and they took out the main cast that's not with us anymore. So it was, that's not a very big image. So it was this image here, and they took out Digital Spy. I hate these things. Okay, so yeah, this is it. They took out Superman, Batman, Flash, and Cyborg, and so the only two remaining were Aquaman and Wonder Woman. I can't believe that in this day and age, they screwed it up so much that they can't even use Cavill or Ben Affleck anymore. That's your two big properties, Zaslav, is Superman and Batman. And Batman's working well right now with Robert Pattinson, but that's not going to be tied to this kind of universe. And Wonder Woman's on thin ice because of 1984, but she'll come back. Gal Gadot is great, but Flash is questionable. It's hard to believe that 4 of them are gone now. It was just interesting to see. Picard season 3. Let's go in and talk about Picard, guys. We know that Picard season 3 is all in the can, but this caught my eye and my attentions. The Next Generation cast was given a chance to have some input for a Picard season 3 return by the showrunner Terry Matalas. So I guess he went and asked some of the previous crew some questions. So let's take a look at this quote from Matalas. He says, I didn't want to make anything that they didn't want to make. They all have big things to do. We all meet them and find out where they are now. And some of those answers as to what they're doing now are unexpected. So I wanted them to be happy and have input. They lived with these characters. They go to the conventions. They know the stories that matter to these people. Yeah, this old cast and crew. Well, we know that Riker and Troy had their cameos in season 1, so I don't expect them to be back. Brent Spiner's always been there. Geordi's going to be in this new season, and we haven't heard anything from Worf or Beverly, but from season 1, you got the impression that Beverly was dead. So I don't know if they're going to address that or not, but I'd love to see Worf come back, and I would love to see Geordi, who's going to be in season 3. And season 3 is all in the can, and I suspect season 3 is probably going to end with Picard dying, and hopefully it'll come back with them, with the rest of the TNG cast, paying tribute at kind of like a service of some kind. And I think that's the way that it's going to end. But for me, if it ends that way, it's not going to end as impactful to me as it should be, because as much as I liked season 2 of Picard, it was a step up from season 1 for sure. It hasn't been that grand storytelling like Stranger Things has been. It's kind of like, yes, I agree that it was kind of just like Patrick Stewart playing Patrick Stewart. I didn't see much of Picard and his character Picard in the series so far, so it won't resonate with me too much when he dies, if he dies, which I suspect he will, and all these characters come back, if they come back. Some of them won't, perhaps, because if Beverly's dead, she won't. I hope to see Worf, and I hope to see Geordi, but apparently this Matalas pitched to LeVar Burton. His pitch to have Geordi come back made them cry. So it'll be cool to see, because apparently in season 3, Geordi will have 2 daughters by then. So it'll be interesting to see. So there's going to be some drama there. And so Metalla said in an interview with Collider, and sitting with LeVar and saying, here's what I think is going to happen to Geordi. And LeVar made me cry. That was a moment when I pitched it, and he was so emotional, and I got emotional. I was like, this is one of those cool moments. So there's going to be something cool that happens to Geordi. And Geordi has always had a good relationship with Picard. And cool. So I'm glad that he's going to be back, at least maybe as a cameo. We'll have to see how that all works out. But Picard season 3 is all in the can. I guess only thing that would be left is to maybe do some small pickups or something like that. But I suspect it'll come out early next year. It's all done. It's all filmed. So I'll have to keep my eye out for that. What do you guys think? Okay, so there are some more stories that are not listed here, but are in the description. And yeah. Some fun ones, some not so fun ones. Let's get into this. Jason Blum has said he would coax Robert Englund to star in a new Freddy Elm Street movie. No, well, come on. That can't be. Robert Englund has said he's moved on from this. But Jason Blum has said that he can use his persuasion to perhaps get him back. He's got a quote out here. It won't happen for a while because those rights for Nightmare on Elm Street are still up in the air. But he says, Blum says, I could make him come back. I can get anyone back. I mean, Ellen Burstyn was 87 and I got her back in The Exorcist. Yeah, 75. Robert Englund, 75? He's young. So, you know that if Blumhouse got a hold of this property, he would want him to come back in some capacity. I don't know if they would actually get him to play Freddy, but maybe he could still do the voice in some capacity. Who knows? But yeah, talking about Ellen Burstyn there. Yeah, Blumhouse got the rights to make The Exorcist. And from what I understand, it's not going to be a reboot. It's going to be kind of like... well, there's going to be 3 of them. One of the biggest projects coming from Blumhouse in the near future is the new reboot of The Exorcist, which is said to be coming in the form of a trilogy from the director of the new Halloween, David Gordon Green. Green said, The Exorcist has been written. That was one of my pandemic projects. It's not inaccurate that it will be a sequel to the original film. So yeah, a sequel to the original film, but it will be part 3. Because number 3 kind of strayed from that, and I kind of still liked Exorcist 3, but I like all the Exorcist movies, he said. And not only do I like them, I think they can all fall into an acceptable mythology. Ooh, what's going on there? I think they all can fall into an acceptable... I think they all can fall into the acceptable mythology for what I'm doing. It's not like I'm saying pretend that Exorcist 2 never happened. That's fine to exist. They're all fine to exist, and I enjoy them. So there you go. Won't exclude them just like the Halloween series did. But I'll keep my eye on the Exorcist reboot. But Jason Blum, this is just a fun little story talking about Robert Englund there. I should have put that right up against Stranger Things season 4 because he was in that too. Robert Englund can still act, guys. He can still act fairly well, and I liked his monologue in Stranger Things season 4. I thought that was cool. Barbie. Now, guys, Barbie is a movie that I'm morbidly looking forward to. Barbie fan posters turn Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling into plastic dolls. Margot Robbie is Barbie, and Ryan Gosling is Ken. And we saw that Ken image all last week, guys. So we know that I think they're gonna look okay. So some fan made that image. Thought I'd share with you. Them looking much more like the dolls that they're supposed to be. Supposed to be multiple dolls. Supposed to come out next year, guys. Just thought that was a quick little fun story. Not so fun. Netflix update. Production suspended on Netflix series The Chosen One after 2 actors die, 6 injured in auto accident involving cast and crew. Now this Chosen One, The Chosen One, is a series about a 12-year-old boy who learns he's the returned Jesus Christ, who destined to save humankind. It's based on a comic book series by Mark Miller and Peter Gross. Mark Millar. The series is filmed by an unidentified independent production company. Oh, so that's not good. That's bummer. That's bad news, guys. I hate to read headlines like this. It bums me out. So they were filming this, and I guess more details have emerged from the accident. But 2 dead. 6 injured. Terrible. Awful news. They were in transit from Santa Rosalia to the local airport on June 16th. So it wasn't even for them filming. They were just in transit. That's unfortunate news. Let's see what some of the comments are. Hopefully they're respectful. Bring it on, Netflix. All they care is quarterly numbers. No, get out of here, man. Get out of here. I don't want to hear that. 2 people are dead. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, people aren't being respectful. Come on. Some people died, so I'm not going to show you those comments. But hate to read headlines like that. And it's not much more you can do besides saying thoughts and prayers go out. And hopefully, yeah, tough times for those people. Okay. Tough times also for Paul Haggis. Paul Haggis was arrested in Italy for sexual assault charges. Paul Haggis, he was a writer. He wrote things like Crash and Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace. So I just wanted to look at his upcoming slate. He did Walker, based on Walker, Texas Ranger series, 38 episodes. Ranger's Apprentice was in pre-production, and he was going to write the Juliet. So that'll go to the wayside for right now. While this whole thing goes on with him, Paul Haggis was arrested. Allegations. Oh, hate to see that. But I'll keep my eye on it. Victim. He also wrote $1 Million Baby. Great film. Great film. Clint Eastwood. Yeah. Oh, that's well, that's a bummer. I don't want to end off the show on bummer news, but it's pretty much the way that it has been going. Let's take a look at the Twitterverse, and if that doesn't cheer me up, then I'll whip out the old guitar and we'll play some tunes. Because it's Monday, and I don't want it to end on like a bummer news, but it's moving to entertainment news, guys. So we have to be cognizant of what's going on. So I'm just looking at some alternative headlines here. Okay, yeah. So I covered everything. Let's see if I missed anything on the old Twitterverse. And Ashley Benson and Eric Balfour joined Jenna Coleman and Oliver Jackson Cohen in Prime Video thriller series The Wilderness. Luca Guadagnino photographed by Zendaya. She's got an eye. I like black and white photos. Challengers. Episode 2. What is that, an anime series? Mulan was 24 years ago. Tom Cruise promoting Top Gun Maverick in South Korea. So, yeah, that movie's still opening up overseas, guys. So the international numbers for Top Gun. Let's go back to Top Gun numbers while we're here. So yeah, that's going to bump up a little bit. Guys, I still think I'm holding out the slightest hopes that Top Gun Maverick will make $1 billion. It's still opening up in other markets, and it's still got another couple of good solid weeks here in the North American box office. Cool. Maya Hawk via Instagram stories, Happy Father's Day. Oh, so they were at a game of some kind with Rihanna? Huh. Maya Hawk was obviously in Stranger Things. Millie Bobby Brown. Alexa, play My Love. Her and her current boyfriend, John Bon Jovi's son, went to see a Harry Styles concert, it looks like. So, and they're having that young, fun love. Oh, how I miss those days. Sometimes you didn't care, right? Inside Out was 7 years ago. That's only 7 years. Get out of here with that. Yeah. Renate Rensvi says she will be co-starring alongside Sebastian Stan in an upcoming film he will produce. Okay. The Winter Soldier himself is producing his own shows. Cool. 5th season of Legacies. Cast for Top Gun Maverick at the film's South Korean premiere, and that's right. I am kind of jonesing to go see it again. I will go see it again before it leaves theaters, because those training sequences, the final sequences, were awesome. Jurassic World Dominion is expected to remain #1. Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, I should have put it in his mouth like this. Maybe I will. I'll update. I'm trying to update the thumbnails, guys. I'm trying to change the thumbnails and the strategy, because sometimes it works when I put the actual list on the thumbnails. Sometimes it doesn't. I just need to find something consistent that'll grab people's attention, and perhaps put aside the mirror domains. Movie news. It'll still be in the title, but it just won't be the big thing that'll lead it off. I'm playing around with it because I need to draw more attention to this show. Joseph Quinn says Stranger Things 4 finale is bold. Is that Eddie? Well, yeah, we heard that is bold. Next Friday, guys. Can't wait for it. Which canceled TV show would you choose to bring back if you could? Gotham. I like Gotham. Joseph Quinn. Yeah, it was Joseph Quinn. He was Eddie. I'll be furious if they don't bring me back. I'd love to be in season 5 if they have me. So maybe that's a bit of a spoiler. But I still think he's got his number. I think he may die. Because I don't know how they're going to prove his innocence. Yesterday was Father's Day. Miles Teller. Top Gun Maverick. More Top Gun Maverick stuff. Bridgerton star. Don't know why you're posting that. We don't need to see that. Arglass says he'd bring back Firefly. Yeah, but Joss Whedon is kind of yeah, it would have to be without Joss Whedon. And I don't think many people would want to see that. Because Joss Whedon, talking about people with allegations against him. Yeah. The Worst Person in the World, starring Renate Rensvi, is now on streaming. Okay. Oh, so that's who that was. That's who that was. Sadie Sink discusses starring in Darren Aronofsky's The Whale. It'll be out this year. She says, I don't think I'd ever done a project that had that much character work. Brendan Fraser is incredible in it too. Also, Brendan Fraser. So he's going to be in that. He's going to be in the Batgirl movie. So he's getting a bit of a resurgence. Cool. Sadie Sink. She was really good in Stranger Things. Dear Billy. Ooh. First set photos of George Miller's Furiosa. Cool, man. Oh, I should have led off with this. Furiosa. Okay. Well, yeah. And it's going to be a saga, guys. So it's not going to be a contained story like Fury Road was. It's going to take place through multiple years of Furiosas coming up. So yeah. Cool. This was unexpected. I don't know who that is. Some kind of henchman or something. Yeah, because they were on bikes, right? That group that she was with, they go out. Remember, they went out and found those old ladies. She was with that group for the longest time, right? And they were all on motorcycles. So that'll be cool. Cool, man. Olivia DeJonge. I need to learn how to pronounce her name. If Elvis comes out this week, I need to learn. She's playing Priscilla in the Elvis movie. Looks like it was Richard Madden's birthday 2 days ago. Live action. Who would you cast as Hercules and Megara? Well, you said Patrick Schwarzenegger as Hercules. I never. I'll be honest. I never watched the animated Hercules, so I don't know the story. But Guy Ritchie directing that Hercules. Leah Michele is set to replace Beanie Feldstein in Broadway's Funny Girl. Oh, that's Broadway. That's the stage. Okay, Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain shared a journal during the filming of scenes from a marriage. Cool. Can't go wrong with Oscar Isaac. Can barely go wrong with Jessica Chastain. In fact, they're both flawless. That'll be cool. That's a movie that I can't wait to see. Molly Shannon, Actors of the Round Table. Okay, guys, I think that's pretty much it for today. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So later on today, I think we're going to watch Spiderhead, guys. Around 2 p.m., 2:30ish, I think was when we'll do it. We're going to have some breakfast, might go for a walk, and then I'll come back and we'll do Spiderhead. So if I'm going to do that, I should call it a day. It's Monday, guys, and I'll put out some stuff later on today on Twitch. Yeah. Okay. Just some fun little things. I got an idea for some fun little shorts that I can do. And you'll see those later on today, and then Spiderhead later on this afternoon. See you there.